Hello. Before we begin, I truly want to share something very important. I am not a licensed therapist or medical professional. The information in this video is for spiritual and educational purposes only, based on life coaching, holistic healing, and lived experience. If you or anyone you know is experiencing emotional distress, abuse, or thoughts of self harm, please reach out for professional help. I'm going to give you two numbers, one for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their number is 1 800 799 23. I'm sorry, 1 800 799 7233. And Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, just dialing 988. You are not alone. Support is available and healing is possible. So, let's get into it. Again, hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Comforting Path. My name is Thomasine, and I am a certified spiritual life coach. Today's topic is a powerful and often misunderstood one: reactive abuse. We're going to talk about how it shows up in relationships, parenting, friendships, and even in the workplace. Not just from a psychological view, but through a spiritual. This one, I'm kind of going through this one myself right now. So we're going to go on this path together. And I'm going to show you the things that I've learned and tools I use. I'm going to share how these patterns also affect your energy, how to break free from emotional entrapment, and how to begin reclaiming your peace and power. So stay with me until the end. I'll share some steps for healing and powerful affirmations and a special offer for anyone ready to start their own healing journey. We're all humans in this world with feelings and emotions. And we have to learn to work that muscle, to train it, to be better communicators and to what to look for. So let's talk about reactive abuse. Reactive abuse happens when someone who has been emotionally attacked, controlled, or invalidated over time. Over time, that person finally reacts. And the reaction might look like angry or explosive, yelling, slamming doors, or saying some things out of frustration. We've all been there. We can all relate, right? The abuser then flips the narrative and claims you're the problem. They might say, see, you're the one who's crazy, right? Spiritually, this is the energy transference. They jump into their toxic energy onto you until you can't hold it anymore. You snap, you lose it, you release it all at once. We're all human. That moment of reaction isn't who you are. It's your nervous system in survival mode. You get to that point where you really, you can't hold it. Let's talk about abuse examples. Let's identify emotional abuse clarity: yelling, mocking, or humiliation. The silence treatment used to punish. Manipulating you into doubting your memory or sanity. These are all things that I'm sure we've either done or has been done to us. As a child, who told you to stop crying, okay? You're told you're sensitive, grow up, suppressing emotions. Later, as a parent, when their child cries, they react harshly, not out of cruelty, but because their own inner child never learned emotional safety. We pick up those habits as a parent, using that as an example. Spiritually, that creates soul fragmentation, part of yourself to bury to survive. Let's do another dynamic of reactive abuse. When escape isn't an option and your instinct becomes fight, not flight, the abuser often uses this reaction to manipulate you further. They record your reaction. They provoke you in public for witnesses. They tell others you're the abusive one. Yeah. Talk about the workplace. Imagine a manager belittles you for months on end. One day you defend yourself firmly, and suddenly you're labeled unprofessional. That's how emotional and energetic manipulation operates in everyday environment. So you have your parenting, you have your relationship, and you have the workplace, even in friendships too. Let's talk about recognizing the signs. How do you know if you're in a reactive abuse cycle? You behave in ways that don't feel like you, maybe. You feel ashamed after defending yourself. Do you feel bad after having that moment of emotion? You constantly replay moments asking, was I wrong? You feel provoked repeatedly and then blamed for reacting. There is no right or wrong way, right? These aren't signs of weakness. They're evidence of spiritual and emotional exhaustion. Let's talk about the psychological and spiritual impact. Talk about research. Research shows that victims of ongoing abuse experience anxiety, insomnia, and depression. Spiritually, it manifests as blocked chakras, particularly your throat. You feel silenced, and your solar plexus, your personal power. You may feel drained, disconnected, or guilty because your soul knows you've been pulled out of alignment. Practice or go somewhere to get your chakras aligned. It will help. You also deal with gaslighting. Gaslighting is what keeps reactive abusers alive. Abusers flip facts, deny experiences, and make you question your sanity. This isn't just emotional, it's spiritual welfare. It separates you from your intuition, which is your inner compass of truth. So how do we break the cycle? How do we stop it? It takes time and patience. But here's how to begin reclaiming your peace, because some things you can't change. Focus on you. Name the pattern. Don't minimize it. Notice what your triggers are. Awareness is your power. Pause before reacting. It's not weakness, it's mastery. It really is. Ground yourself, trying breath work, journaling, prayer, or nature walks. Seek support, coaching, therapy, or community circles. Plan your exit if needed. No one's saying to stay in that situation. Love cannot heal what refuses to change. Spiritually, your reaction is not sin. It's a signal. It's a message saying it's time to heal. This is a lot of shadow work that you are going to have to do yourself to figure out what your journey is. So let's affirm. I am not defined by my reaction. I am worthy of peace, love, and respect. I choose healing over chaos. My spirit is free. Ooh, I got chills. Let's take a deep breath. Feel that truth sink in. Breathe in down from your root all the way up to your crown. Hold it for 4 for peace. Exhale for release. Today's episode is from the work of Sanjaya Gupta for Very Well Mind, exploring the psychological reactive abuse, gaslighting, and healing trauma. Okay? If today's message spoke to you, please contact me, the Comforting Path Coach, at gmail.com to begin your one-on-one spiritual coaching journey. New clients receive their first 3 sessions for only $35 each. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn at The Comforting Path for weekly affirmations and healing conversations. In fact, I do those daily affirmations. I do those on a daily basis. Again, my name is Thomasine, certified spiritual life coach and owner of The Comforting Path. Remember, your reaction doesn't make you the abuser. It's your soul calling you back into alignment, peace, and power. Keep walking your path with courage, love, and truth. Until next time, stay grounded. Stay gentle with yourself. Give yourself that grace. Give yourself that patience. Until next week, peace and blessings. Bye-bye.